Hey everybody, it's Robbie from DSDM 101 here. I thought, in the interests of, I guess, condensing all what I have to say about my project, sort of condensing it down, I'd make a video rather than write up screeds of text, just because it's easier to get through. Um, yeah, so basically, I've created this video because my project I've been doing a lot of thinking, a lot of drawing, a lot of taking notes and whatnot. And I'm keeping along the same thread, but I'm tending to go in a different direction. Now I've made a list of notes of all the things I have to say. Um, Basically, the idea of social media taking or cheapening your identity is where I want to come from. So my standpoint, I guess, against media technology is negative. Um, and that's where my whole new way of seeing comes in. It's a new way of seeing social media because everyone sees social media as something that's positive. Great networking, keeping constant communication. It's the way of the future. But I guess what I want to present through this piece is a new way of seeing, in that it may not be the best. Maybe it's actually in a sort of ethical sense, a sort of moral sense. Maybe it's cheapening our identities. That's the thought I want to pose. Cool. So initially, I had this whole idea of a face, and I wanted this face to represent identity. And what I was going to do was I was going to add bits to the face. It was going to be like sort of little digital components. I was going to chuck them on, and what it would show is uh, sort of technology, I guess, roboticizing the face and taking the place of identity. I've thought about this a bit more, and my actual stand's social media, and social media is not technology. I thought it was a bit far removed. So what I've done is, in place of the little digital components, I'm going to add, still keep this theme of adding to a face on to symbolize a shift in identity, but I want to add images of maybe groups that people join on Facebook, things they like, because I've been thinking about it, and identity more and more these days is just becoming an assortment of things we like on Facebook. Um, we choose to like this rather than that, and that is what defines us. Um, that sounds really cynical, I know. But it's sort of an extreme view of the stand I'm wanting to take. And I think an extreme view is a good view because it's provoking, it's confrontational, it makes you think. Um, I've got my friend here. He's a big polystyrene head. I bought him off Trade Me. But basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to print off all these images and, yeah, as I go, build up the face like in a sort of collage texture. And then at the end, maybe highlight some sort of part of the eye. To make it turn on in a way, I guess, and then highlight social media, a new way of seeing, and that's how the quote's going to be integrated into it. But yeah, this first point is taking the digital components and turning them into these sort of, I guess, images of identity that we get from Facebook. Now, we can get rid of that. So changing the idea of digital components to groups, likes, etc. Yes. Changing from technology to social media, we've talked about that. Of course, this is going to mean that I'm going to have to redo my storyboard because, the storyboard wants to represent what I'm doing, and I think this change has almost removed it from my original quite a bit. But, the original's still good for development stuff and hopefully boosting that grade a little bit. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Eve, thanks. Redoing storyboards out of the way. Right. Now, I was going to have my main motif color as green in the original. I've changed this to blue. Green was meant to show sort of digitization, the motherboard of the digital components and whatnot. Blue represents Facebook. It doesn't say it, but everyone gets the idea. So yeah, I want to have a blue as my main color motif in this stop motion. Now in the original, I had hands which were going to add to the face. They're going to make all the alterations and what have you. Doing away with the hands. In place of it, I'm going to use animation and sort of superimpose it on top of all the stop motion. I'm going to create a spider creature on Illustrator and have him sort of, I guess, parade through my video. This spider, in a sort of abstract way, represents the World Wide Web, spider's web. But also because I'm trying to show that social media is entrapping us and taking our identity away. The spider is a good symbol of trapping. Yeah, so I think that'll work quite well. I'm going to have the spider sort of at various stages try and pull the camera in, try and pull me in. Yeah, so I think that'll work quite well. Oh, right, now in the original, and if you've seen the storyboard, you'll notice that I didn't have anything to do with the background. And the thought behind that was that I would sort of suspend the face in sort of like a black void, nothing defined, but just to put all the focus on the face, and or maybe space, and have it slowly, turn through space. I thought that could be a cool idea, and I still think it could look quite cool, but Eve, you showed us this thing in that past animation of this past stop motion, sorry, of that guy who did the This Is Where It All Starts or something, that Wellington one, and he had that thing where he was printing off and he turned into a man and walked across to his computer and whatnot. Anyway, I was quite inspired by that. I thought that was quite cool. Just sort of all the shifts in planes and how it felt as though we were moving through the video, and that's really what I'm trying to do with my one, because I thought the background was too stagnant. It needed movement to draw us in, and I think that'll work with the whole spider idea as well. That sense that we're being sucked into social media and sucked into the video. So what I've got is a lot of changes in location, a lot of shifting camera views, everything. So it's almost like a roller coaster ride, and as we go through, we see all the points I'm trying to illustrate. When I do up this new storyboard, you can see exactly how I'm going to do detail. I'm not going to go through it now, but I've definitely added in a sense of background and scene to this new revised version. And finally, we're talking about music. In the last one, the copyright issue came up, and even though I sort of referenced code to say, hey, look, it was all legitimate, Elle said she would have preferred if I hadn't have done that. So, point taken, that's cool. You may not know this, at school I took music sort of all the way through, so I know how to use music software, so I'm thinking of trying my hand at composing my own. It's only 30 seconds, so it's not going to be too much of an arduous task, but that way copyright issues are also, they're all sussed, and I can do exactly what I want to do, make the music fit with my video perfectly. So at this stage I'm composing my own. If it gets to the very end I still haven't got any music, I may have to check out some royalty-free stuff and just do that. But yeah, at this stage I've got the time to do it, so I'll crack on with that. Oh yeah, of course, on the note of royalty-free stuff, there'll probably be sound effects that I do take from the net and put them in. Yeah, that's cool, because that sort of stuff is so much more readily copyright free. rather than a song in general. So yeah, I guess that's all that I wanted to say. Um, yeah, a shift in direction, changing the project. So yeah, watch this space. I really hope the final product works out well, and I really hope you like it at the end. Cool. Thank you.